management.
Oil prices fall in New York trading today as Hurricane Rita falls to Category 3 status. But crude prices are still near record highs. The storm is still closing in on the Texas coast, and there is still great uncertainty about just how much damage it can do.
They'll be working on the levees again in New Orleans after rains from Hurricane Rita break what had been fixed after Katrina. We'll have the story.
Investors on Wall Street test the mettle of shares of Alcoa today. The stock price heads lower after the company warned of lower than expected earnings.
And tonight's Market Monitor says she's looking for a decent bull market over the next 18 months. Our guest is Elaine Garzarelli, president of Garzarelli Capital.
I'm Paul Kangas.
And I'm Susie Garov. This is Nightly Business Report for Friday, September 23rd.
Nightly Business Report is made possible by...
Don't let your nest egg get away from you. Objective financial advice can help. A.G. Edwards, for 118 years, fully invested in our clients.
Franklin Templeton Investments, providing a unique perspective through the specialized investment expertise of Franklin Templeton Mutual Series and Fiduciary Trust. Franklin Templeton Investments, gain from our perspective. This program was made possible by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Energy prices fell sharply today as traders breathed a sigh of relief that Hurricane Rita was tracking further to the east and away from key oil and gas facilities on the Texas coast. Rita was also downgraded to a Category 3 storm. In New York, November crude futures tumbled $2.31 or 3.5% to $64.19 a barrel. Wholesale gasoline fell 2.5%. We have two reports tonight looking at how Hurricane Rita could affect the energy and chemical industries. We begin with Erica Miller in New York.
As Hurricane Rita swirls toward land, residents of Texas coastal cities continue to flee inland. Many businesses, including all of the Gulf Coast refineries, had been shut down as a precaution. But at the New York Mercantile Exchange, many traders were betting Texas refineries would escape catastrophic damage.
What kind of happens a lot of time is you buy the rumor and sell the sell the actual event. Traders are discounting the event. We don't think it's going to be as bad, as devastating as you thought as the first few days.
There's still plenty of uncertainty about exactly where the storm will hit. Many traders are betting Rita will skirt the major oil refining region near Houston. Plus, the Texas refineries are all above sea level, so there's less potential for flood damage. That helps explain why crude oil futures for November delivery fell by more than $2 today to $64.19 a barrel. Many analysts predict prices will continue to drift lower.
They'll probably settle down here between $55 and $65 a barrel. There's certainly still a big premium in the oil price for the lack of any global spare capacity, for the lack of refining capacity, for the geopolitical premium.
Still, not everyone is confident Rita's damage to oil infrastructure will be minimal. A group representing Texas oil companies warns Hurricane Rita could potentially be more damaging to refining capacity than Hurricane Katrina, which hit less than a month ago. The association says there could be extreme flooding in the key refining centers of Port Arthur and Beaumont, both in eastern Texas. Even as the Gulf Coast braces for Rita, experts warn there could still be more ferocious storms to come.
Hurricane season, the peak is September, but it officially extends through November. So we're not out of the woods as far as hurricanes yet.
This year's hurricane season has been unusually active. And when that happens, experts warn winters in the Northeast tend to be brutally cold, all which could mean higher energy bills this winter. Erica Miller, Nightly Business Report, New York.
I'm Stephanie Dew. 160 chemical plants lie in Rita's projected path. Dow Chemical, DuPont, and Chevron Phillips are among the companies that have shuttered plants in preparation for the storm.
We've shut down basically almost a third of the U.S. refining capacity and over half of the petrochemical manufacturing capacity in the United States. That's going to be gone for several days, even if nothing happens. So, we're going to have some impacts here.
The industry is already trying to come back from Hurricane Katrina. That storm served as a reminder that even without structural damage, it takes days to shut down chemical plants and days or weeks after the storm to bring them back online.
What we found in wake of Katrina that some of the biggest challenges have been getting electricity, some of the logistical issues getting raw materials in, particularly natural gas.
Natural gas not only fuels chemical plants, but it is used to extract chemical ingredients, especially for plastics. Natural gas prices, which were already high, soared after Katrina. They have more than doubled in the last year. The complications from Rita are expected to boost prices on a whole range of products, from milk containers to computers to pharmaceuticals.
Prices of those products are going to go through the roof, and that amounts to a tax on business and a tax on consumers, which means that businesses and consumers will have less money for other things. So I think the economy is going to take a major hit.
Already Dow and DuPont have warned they will increase prices. Economists expect other chemical companies to do the same. Stephanie Du, Nightly Business Report, Washington.
Stocks opened on a weak note amid uncertainties over how serious a blow to the economy Hurricane Rita would deliver. Almost half of the Dow's early 35-point loss was due to a drop in Alcoa stock after its earnings warning we told you about last night. The Nasdaq fell 7 points at the outset. Then, after Rita was downgraded and veered away from Houston, those oil prices fell and stocks closed narrowly mixed. The Dow lost only 2.5 points, ending at 10,419.59 today. This week it rose once, fell 4 times, and had a net loss of 222.35 points. The Nasdaq Composite was up 6 points, closing at 2116.84 today. For the week, it rose twice, fell 3 times, had an overall loss of 43.51 points. The Standard & Poor's 500 index gained 2/3 of a point to 1215.29 today. In the bond market, the 10-year note fell 17/32 to even par, putting the yield at 4.25% exactly.
The New Orleans unit of power company Entergy filed for bankruptcy today in the wake of Hurricane Katrina. That unit is the smallest of Entergy's 5 utility companies. And New Orleans is facing new trouble tonight thanks to Hurricane Rita. Rains from the storm washed over a freshly patched section of the city's levee system, flooding areas that had just dried out from Katrina. Worst hit is the city's 9th ward. Nearly all the homes in that area were already damaged beyond repair before today's flood waters swept in. Our guest tonight has been studying the regional economic impact of Hurricanes Rita and Katrina and what they could mean for U.S. economic growth. Joining us now, Ross Duvall. He's Director of Regional Economics at the Milken Institute in Los Angeles. Hi, Ross.
Hello, Susie. Good to hear you.
Well, I understand that you've been running some numbers, and that what you've come up with is that Hurricane Katrina could shave off 1% from GDP growth in the 4th quarter. Now, given that the Houston economy is much, much bigger than New Orleans, and that let's say that Rita does make a devastating hit on Houston, let's just say, what would be the economic impact of that?
Well, fortunately, Houston is above sea level, so there won't be flooding that lasts for a long period of time. There still could be some devastation, but if we were to take a substantial amount of refining capacity offline for any period of time, say even 2 to 3 weeks, we could add another 0.5 point to that number. So in other words, economic growth would be about 1.5 points lower in the 4th quarter as a result of Rita on top of Katrina.
And then what is the recovery cycle? What about going forward into 2006, the 1st quarter, 2nd quarter? What is your projection there?
Well, the projections are that once reconstruction begins to take place, both of the infrastructure that might be funded principally from the federal government, but also once homes begin to be rebuilt and repairs and alterations made, that in the 1st quarter it might add 1/10 or 2 to economic growth overall, but by the 2nd and 3rd quarters of next year, we could actually see economic growth higher by about a full percentage point.
Okay, interesting. Now, we've seen in Houston a lot of businesses shutting down. You heard our report, oil refineries, chemical companies, but also retail outlets like Walmart, UPS has shut down operations. What is the ripple effect of all of these disruptions of business and the impact of that on the overall national economy?
Well, Houston represents close to about 2% of the national economy, the greater Houston area. So if you basically shut down the economy for a week, you're going to take 2 to 3/10 of a point off of national growth in the third quarter and potentially some more in the fourth quarter. So we're talking about a very large economy. Once you shut down retail activity, it's going to show up in the national numbers.
Economists were already worried about spending in the fall and Christmas spending way before Rita and Katrina. So what do you think that impact is going to have on consumer spending?
I think we're going to see consumer spending weaker by 1.5% to 2% this Christmas holiday season versus what you would have thought in the absence of the hurricanes. Where basically consumers have to allocate a larger proportion of their discretionary income now towards paying higher prices for gasoline, for natural gas, and for heating fuel this winter. So it's going to cause people to pull back on their discretionary spending this holiday season.
Now, I would like to follow up on something you were saying about rebuilding. Yes, new homes, I guess more jobs, new infrastructure. Do you find that this increased economic activity from the rebuilding will counterbalance the economic losses from the other things that we've just been talking about?
Well, the answer is, in our opinion, it will. It largely depends upon how long the refining capacities are offline and how high oil prices go and natural gas prices and how quickly they come down. But typically after a hurricane or other natural disasters, during the rebuilding phase, we tend to see a stimulus to the economy overall that usually more than compensates for the lost economic activity in the near term.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much, Ross.
You're welcome, Susie.
Appreciate your thoughts. We've been speaking with Ross Duvall, Director of Regional Economics at the Milken Institute.
Hurricanes Rita and Katrina and their effect on energy were also on the agenda today of the G7 finance ministers in Washington, D.C. Before the leaders met for a group photo, they talked about how to protect the global economy from soaring energy prices. Those prices are weighing on economic activity, with the International Monetary Fund projecting a slowdown in growth this year and next. The IMF and World Bank are scheduled to meet in Washington over the weekend.
Federal prosecutors are asking Senate Majority Leader Bill Frist about his sale of stock in Hospital Corporation of America, or HCA. The company says its records have been subpoenaed by the government in the same investigation. Frist has come under fire for his sale of HCA stock in June of 2013. That was just 5 days before the company warned that earnings would fall short of expectations. Frist says he had no control over the timing of the sale and that the stock was held and sold from a blind trust. Frist's father and brother helped found HCA. Paul, the company says it's cooperating with the government.
HCA shares actually gained ground today, Susie, closing up $1.70 to $47.60 a share. Now let's look at the rest of our stocks in the news tonight. The most active New York exchange issue was Pfizer on 16.5 million shares, losing 38 cents, and then Alcoa down $1.48. That hurt the Dow Industrial Average by about 12 points. And, of course, after the close yesterday, as we reported, the company warned third quarter earnings would be only about 29 cents a share, down from the street consensus of 43 cents a share. Time Warner down 20 cents. Walmart managed a penny gain. Genworth Financial was up $1. Wednesday, General Electric priced an 80 million share offering of the stock at $29.50. Now it's $1 above that. ExxonMobil down $1.10 on that drop in oil prices. And then a new issue, that's Global Cash Access Holdings. 16 million shares offered to the public at 14, opened at $15.22. The high of the day, $15.55, backed off a little bit, but still 96 cents on the day, higher than the initial public offering price. GE itself was up a dime. Home Depot lost 22 cents. And then Texas Instruments, 10th in volume, moved up $1.17. Allstate Corporation up $2.59. This company has the greatest insurance exposure of the public companies in the Gulf region. The stock was, of course, rising as Rita veered away from Houston and was downgraded to a Category 3 storm. Thor Industries up $1.58. The company's total recreational vehicle orders for the month to date, $210 million, more than double the normal rate. And, of course, that's due to Katrina's evacuees. They've been very big buyers of its products. Cigna Corp up $1.56. 9 companies won U.S. government approval to offer Medicare prescription drug benefits to seniors across the nation as of the first of the new year. Let's have a look at some of the others in that group of 9. Aetna up a fraction, but Pacific Care Health doing well, up $2.20, and gains of over $1 in the United Health Group and WellPoint. Global Payments Incorporated up $8.52. This is a company in electronic transaction processing, and it had first quarter earnings, 77 cents, up from 62 last year. Revenues up 17%. The company boosted 2006 revenue guidance to as much as $883 million. Darden Restaurants up 65 cents. First quarter earnings 53 cents, up from 44 a year ago. And the company is boosting its semi-annual dividend from 4 cents all the way up to 20 cents. Raymond James Financial Brokerage upgraded it from market perform to outperform. And Boyd Gaming gained $2.80 after Morgan Stanley upgraded it from equal weight to overweight. NASDAQ's most active, Google, up nearly $4 a share, followed by Oracle down $1.07 after the close yesterday. As we reported, Oracle's first quarter earnings, 14 cents a share, were in line with estimates, but its revenues and outlook were rather disappointing. Microsoft, a 7-cent loss. The company is expected to make a major announcement with Palm and Verizon on Monday. More on Palm in just a moment. Apple Computer was up $1.30, and Intel dropped 18 cents, fifth in dollar volume on NASDAQ. eBay gained $1.06. Cisco losing 6 cents. Sears Holding, 91-cent drop there. Qualcomm up 76 cents, and Amgen was down 71 cents. Now we get to Palm, tumbling $6.28 after the close yesterday. It did have first quarter earnings lower by 3 cents from last year, and it sees the second quarter outlook as a bit disappointing. However, shares in Palm jumped over $1 in after-hours trading on reports the company, Microsoft, and Verizon are planning to unveil on Monday Palm's new Trio 700 smartphone equipped with Microsoft's Windows operating system. And those are the stocks in the news tonight. Susie?
Paul, William McDonough is stepping down from his post as chairman of the nation's audit watchdog. The Public Company Accounting Oversight Board said today that McDonough will resign on November 30th or earlier if a successor is in place. McDonough was the president of the New York Federal Reserve before taking on the top spot at the Oversight Board. It was set up as part of the Sarbanes-Oxley accounting industry reforms after the Enron meltdown.
Also resigning tonight, Food and Drug Commissioner Lester Crawford. Crawford is 67 years old and said it was time to step aside. His departure is effective immediately. President Bush has asked National Cancer Institute Director Andrew von Eschenbach to replace Crawford on an acting basis. Monday, we begin a special series looking at the business of music.
Here's a look at what's happening next week. On Friday, we wrap up the third quarter on Wall Street with Sam Stovall of Standard & Poor's. On the economic calendar, Monday, August existing home sales come out. Tuesday, September consumer confidence and August new home sales. Wednesday, August durable goods. Thursday, a final look at second quarter GDP, and then on Friday, August personal income and spending.
My guest market monitor this week is Elaine Garzarelli, president of Garzarelli Capital, and welcome back to Nightly Business Report, Elaine.
Yeah, nice to be here. Thank you.
The stock market weathered the impact of Hurricane Katrina relatively well, but if Hurricane Rita inflicts as much damage to the Gulf region, do you think stocks will take a beating?
No, I don't think so. The hurricanes together probably will reduce third quarter GDP maybe 1.5% or so, but that'll be made up with reconstruction in the fourth quarter and the first quarter of 06. So everything that was lost will be gained plus.
Well, speaking of quarters, was the Federal Reserve's latest 0.25% hike in the Fed funds rate really necessary? And if so, why?
Well, I think that what Greenspan wants to do is get the Fed funds rate to neutral. He had been a little easy for a very long time, fear of deflation and some other things. So now he's just really trying to get to neutral, and I think that could be maybe 4%, 4.25%.
That's what you predicted when you were last with us in March. You said 4% by year end.
Yeah, I don't think any reason to change that, possibly for 4.25%.
All right. Do you feel oil prices in the range of $60 to $70 per barrel will stay with us for the longer term, or will slackening demand from fed-up consumers bring down those costs?
Well, I think, oil prices can fluctuate a bit around here, maybe go a little lower, but my question would be that if oil prices got up to about $85 to $90 a barrel, that would be equivalent in real terms to the last energy crisis, and that could be a problem in terms of possible recessionary outcome. But we're not there yet, so we've got another 20% up.
So right now, are you bullish on the corporate earnings outlook?
Corporate profits, yes, I am. They're coming in around 14 to 15% up this year. Next year, I'm looking for a 7% gain. And if you put an 18.5 multiple on that, that's where the PE should be based on where long-term interest rates are. Stock market's undervalued by well over 20%. So that's a big undervaluation.
Where do your market indicators stand right now?
Well, they're at 45%.
Last time they were 54.5%, much better.
Well, the Fed's been tightening, but that's okay until they get to 30%. That would be a major bear market signal.
Okay.
So the worst you could see now is maybe a 4 to 8% correction.
All right. Now, back in March, you had 5 stock recommendations. Let's see how they've done since then. We had Altria, which is up 11%. Nicely done. Coca-Cola up a little over 2%. Are you still with those two?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And then we had, I think, 3 other recommendations from you. Healthcare Select Spider up 6.4%. That's respectable. And the Industrial Select Spider down 2.8%. Are you still with those?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
And you had one other.
Reconstruction.
You had one other, and that was Home Depot, which is practically unchanged from where it was then. Are you still with it?
That'll go up too.
Okay. Do you have some new buys for us?
Yes, I do. I have 5 new ones.
Okay.
And the first one would be an exchange-traded fund, the Spiders for energy.
Okay.
Right.
It's had quite a run according to that chart we're looking at right now.
Yeah, but I still think everybody's portfolio should have a little energy.
Okay, let's move right along. We only have a minute left.
The next one would be technology exchange traded fund, and that's down 70% from its high.
Okay, so XLK, number 3.
Right. Number 3 would be Caterpillar.
Oh, we're getting into common stocks now.
Yeah, now we are, right. And that looks great because it's with the reconstruction going on, I think that the stock will definitely benefit.
Okay.
Also, it's worldwide.
Right.
The next one is a high-yield stock, and that's Carolina Group Lowe's. They make Newport cigarettes.
Look at that yield.
5% dividend yield.
Okay.
Can't go wrong with that, right?
We have time for one more.
Okay, and the last one would be a big corrective stock, and that's Eastman Chemical, yielding 4%.
Okay. Do you own these stocks personally, any of them, or all of them?
I think I probably own them all.
Okay.
Sure.
Fair enough. Thank you very much, Elaine, for your input. We appreciated it. Always will look forward to the next visit.
Thank you.
Okay, my guest, Elaine Garzarelli, president of Garzarelli Capital.
Recapping today's market action, investors keep their powder dry, awaiting Hurricane Rita's landfall. The Dow falls 2.5 points and NASDAQ gains 6 points. To learn more about the stories in tonight's broadcast, go to NBR.com. And finally tonight, automaker Mitsubishi has a different approach to incentives to sell cars. free gas for a year. Rather than duplicate its competitors' employee discount pricing plans, the company hopes it'll get more mileage out of giving away gasoline with its 2005 models. Buyers get prepaid debt cards worth up to $2,500, depending on the model, fuel efficiency, and whether the car uses regular or premium fuel. But Paul, I don't know about you, with the price of gas going through the roof these days, $2,500 may not last for a year, at least not with my car when I'm filling it up.
Well, if you run out, maybe there should be a bicycle bonus thrown in there.
That's Nightly Business Report for Friday, September 23rd. I'm Susie Garib. Have a great weekend, everyone. The same to you, Paul.
And you as well, Susie. I'm Paul Kangas, wishing all of you the best of goodbye.
Nightly Business Report is made possible by Franklin Templeton Investments, providing a unique perspective through the specialized investment expertise of Franklin Templeton Mutual Series and Fiduciary Trust. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
Don't let your nest egg get away from you. Objective financial advice can help. A.G. Edwards, for 118 years, fully invested in our clients.
This program was made possible by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you. For more information about investing, you may order Nightly Business Report's home video, How Wall Street Works, by calling 1-800-535-5864. This program is available in either the VHS or DVD formats.
We are PBS.
Funding for local broadcast of Nightly Business Report has been provided by viewers like you and by the following.